What's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in to Western.ops. So this is a subject I don't really talk about too much on the channel, but it is something I'm going to start talking about. I currently reload all my ammo. So when I go out shooting for my long range shots or anytime I'm out in the desert, I do shoot my own reloads. There are some things I've been trying to work on with reloading, trying to be a little bit more efficient, a little bit more quicker. The one thing that takes the longest to do with reloading is definitely case prep. And the part of it that takes the most time for me is trimming my brass. So I was looking for a way to speed that process up a little bit just so I'm not spending so many hours just trimming brass between the 308 and the 223 that I most commonly reload. I came across this thing and I decided to give it a try. So the thing that I found to save me the most time that I picked up recently is definitely the Lyman Case Trimmer Express. So let's take a closer look at it and I'll show you how it functions, what comes with it. What you get is you get the piece, you get the power cord and everything. This is the main component, this is the motor and everything. There is little holes on the side where you can mount this to a bench if you want to mount it, or there is little rubber feet at the bottom so it doesn't slide around that much. You put too much force, it will slide, but you can just easily, hold it while you're trimming. And I'll go through it and show you how it actually works. You got the power cord in the back, and then right here is a little dial for your fine measurements, and this measures down to the hundredth of an inch, so you can really get really precise with it. You do have this little plastic cap, and this just protects your eyes or protects from brass shavings going flying everywhere. On the inside of there, that's where your blades are at, so that's actually what does all the cutting. And then if you take this off right here, this is how you actually get set up for your trimming. So you have the little collet, and there's different sizes. You get quite a few of them inside this little case that comes with it. So this is all the different ones that come with it. And then it also has a little cheat sheet on the front, so depending on what size brass you're trimming, it'll tell you which one to use. So I'm going to be trimming some 308 for this video, so we'll put that to the side. The number 12 is the one I need for the 308. And all you have to do is you have a little spring here, and it's this little condensing spring. Put that on, you slide that in, and then you tighten it down. And then what you want to do is back the cutter all the way up if you're changing from different brass sizes. So you want to back your trimmer all the way back, and then move in as you need it to get set up. So what I did is I left it off, backed it all the way back, and I put a piece of brass. And there's a little, I didn't show you, I can show you on the other one. So one of the downsides about this machine is it only works for brass with the shoulder. If you have the straight brass, straight walled brass, it will not trim it, or it's not going to trim it to the size that you need. It'll just keep cutting. Because in the little collet, you can see the little shoulder there, and what happens is that little shoulder on the inside will actually catch the neck of your brass, and that's what stops it. So you can only go in so far because you condense the spring, and then it maxes out, and then that's how you max out the length of your trim. So when you're trying to get set up, you want to move the blades all the way back, and then I put the brass in, push it all the way in with the motor off, and I move the blades till the blades just start to touch, and then I can move them in by the thousandths of an inch at a time until I get the desired trim that I want. So it's not always perfect from what I've seen. It might be because it's different brass. I went through a big tub of brass. After I trim it, I separate it or I segregate it depending on the brand. But I think this is just a mix of different brass that I have. So we'll go through these and then I'll show you the difference. They're all different head stamped. So all you really do is on the side of the little dial, and you turn the machine on. It's not that loud. I mean, I guess it gets kind of loud, but you don't have to have it at full. Um, you don't have to have it at full speed all the time, depending on your brass. So we'll trim this up, or we'll size this. So this shows 2.017. So turn the motor up. Now all you gotta do is just put a little bit of pressure, And let's see where we're down to. So now we're at 2.007, which is a good length for reloading. So then the next one, we'll measure it. This one is 2014, which, if I remember correctly, that's right on the border of needing the trim. And we got 2.007. This is 2.013. And you kind of just give it a couple little in and outs. You'll feel the difference when it's cutting a lot of material or when it starts slowing down the material. So once it starts slowing down the material is when I pull it out. This is 2.006. So a little bit off, it's like 1/100th of an inch off. And we got 20 or 2.021 on this one. If you can see it right there. So we'll get the motor up a little bit. So this one's trimmed a little bit more than the other ones. We'll take it down to 2.004. And this is the last one that we'll trim for now. And this shows 2.020. And this shows 2.007. So as you can see, it's pretty consistent. Alright guys, so for my final thoughts about this machine, is this machine has saved me an incredible amount of time. I was using the Lee case trimmer where you actually use like a drill on it and then you have to re-screw on every piece of brass to get it to trim. So with this machine being able to just go in and out, and then once I've trimmed a couple of them, trimmed about 5 or 6 of them, and I can see that they're all pretty consistent or around the same area, I don't measure every one. I just measured every one just to show you guys how it was trimming and what it trimmed it down to. So I don't measure every one of them once I get past about the first 5 or 10. And before it used to take me a while, a long time to do all my trimming with the other set I used to use. With this machine, I was able to get about 150 to 200 pieces of brass trimmed in about a half an hour to 45 minutes. And that's with getting it set up, switching between two different calibers, switching between the 308 and the 223. You do have to, takes a little bit more time to set up when you're initially getting it going. But once you have the proper measurement set up to trim, you can just crank right through them. And I could not believe how quick this machine will trim a bunch of brass. This is something that I'm a big fan of. This is going to save me a bunch of time. And if you're like me and spend a lot of time on trimming brass the other way, then you might want to look at this. I actually picked this machine up from Amazon. I will leave a link down below to take you straight to it. I don't remember the exact price off the top of my head. I think it was around $120, $150, somewhere around there. But it is definitely worth it for the amount of time it saves you. Like I touched on earlier, it will not work for straight walled brass. I wish there was a way it could do it. So I personally don't reload my handgun brass. I always just buy it. But that is something I want to get into. So I kind of wish it did trim straight walled brass. But maybe there'll be a way of doing that later on in the future. The only thing that I was kind of disappointed about with it is because it sits so low to the table. Normal cooking sheets and other stuff you might use around the house to catch the brass shavings doesn't fit underneath it. So I actually was able to just put a piece of paper and I kind of folded up the edges and work like that. but I kind of wish it came with its own little basket or something that sit underneath the trimming blades. So when all that brass was falling off, it actually had some way of containing it. As you see in the video, I didn't have anything underneath it, so it just goes down onto my table, and then I have to clean it up afterwards. So if there's a way of containing it, I would have really appreciated that, but that's a small, minute thing. Um, it's something I could figure out on my own, and that's probably why they intended it. It's not that big of a deal. But buying something like this, it'd be nice if it did have that. That would be my only thing about it that I would say I wish they would change. So with this machine with the RPMs, it does make a really clean, really sharp cut. Uh, it is something I have noticed when I was cutting. It cuts it really well. So you just do a quick deburr and tamper it, and you can go right through it. So like I said, about 150, 200 pieces of brass in about 30, 45 minutes at tops. I was surprised. So I'll leave a link for this below. Go ahead and check it out. It was on Amazon, and I searched around different places, and some people would have sales, but then once you take into consideration shipping and tax and everything else, it was just cheaper to get it from Amazon. So if this is something that interests you, go ahead and tap on that link, and it'll take you right to it. So if this is something you like seeing, I have a couple other items that I was thinking about doing some reviews on that saved me some time on the reloading. If you follow my Instagram, I posted a picture about it a little bit ago. So there's probably been about 2 or 3 items that I've picked up lately that saved me a lot of time for reloading. There was this guy. I also picked up the Lyman case press Xpress. I think is what it's called, and it basically has all your deburring tools. The thing I like the most about that is the fact that it takes off the military crimp on your 5.56. So if that's something you're interested in, you want to see a little bit more reloading gear that has saved me a lot of time, leave it down below and let me know if that's something you're into, and I'll make sure I get a video on that as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you got a little bit out of this video. I hope this helped you out in any way. If it's something you're into, please hit that like and subscribe, and I'll get you some more videos. Have a great day.